I wasn't exactly excited when Killer of Killers was revealed. I already explained why I'm not interested in a Predator anthology film, so go watch this video if you want to see me go in depth about that. But you know what? This movie was almost good. It could have won me over if it wasn't for two major issues. The movie is obviously an anthology film that follows 3 stories. Part 1 follows a Viking woman named Ursa and her fight against the Predator. I'm just gonna come out and say it, this is ass. The story and character development isn't anything too crazy or notable, but it's just okay, I guess. Dan did what he could with their limited amount of time he gave himself for each story. But the fight scene? The fight scene is absolutely atrocious, it's horrible. This woman might have the most plot armor I've ever seen on a fictional character, it's insane. So you're telling me that this massive hulking predator who killed fully grown men with 1 hit can't just grab this old lady and break her in 2? I mean, he does get a hold of her, but when he does, he just throws her down lightly enough so she can stay alive with minimal injury. You're trying to tell me that his concussion blast device, which shattered one of her shields from medium range, completely shattered walls, and obliterated entire Viking boats, couldn't destroy this one flimsy shield at point blank range? And instead of destroying the shield, his own blast blows him back into a spike to impale himself? Are we dead ass right now? You're trying to tell me that this anchor Ursa was able to effortlessly lift, which I'm assuming must be about 30 pounds for that to be possible, is able to weigh this massive predator down underwater? We just saw Ursa picking it up with ease. How on earth is he not able to lift? I'm sure you see my point by now. This is terrible. It gets to a point where it contradicts the physics and rules it just made like 2 seconds prior, and the believability is just stretched far too thin, even for fiction. It's just straight up plot armor, and it's stupid. Viking story gets a 2 out of 10. Next up, we have 2 ninja samurai brothers fighting a predator together. This part, unlike the last one, is actually pretty cool. The build up to the fight is good, and the predator's introduction and slaughter throughout the temple is actually really badass. If there's one thing this movie does right, it's hype moments and aura. The final fight between the 2 brothers and the predator is awesome, aside from 2 things. Something that bugged me was the blade clashing. The Yautja are way stronger than your average human, so anyone who attempts a blade clash should immediately be overpowered. The other thing is the way the predator dies. He just cloaks and stands still, waiting for the brothers to find him, charge him, and slice him in half. He just stands there while cloaked and does nothing to try and move out of the way. It's just convenient. But overall, the fight was great, and the story overall was solid. Samurai story gets a 7 out of 10. Our third story follows a battle between a World War II pilot and a predator. This one's just alright, but it does something I really love. We've always seen the predator hunt on foot. We've never seen them do it in any other way. In this story, the predator is hunting pilots in the sky using his ship, and he doesn't leave his ship for the entirety of the conflict. This is something we've never seen before, and it was executed very well. But overall, the pilot story gets a 5 out of 10. It's enjoyable, but it gets pretty silly at times. The main character has that generic quippy Marvel humor, which kinda got annoying after a bit. That part where he climbed on the wing of his plane to kick his flaming bomb off while also keeping the plane in the air was a bit too much. And the way he kills the predator by flying it through a battlefield without getting shot down at all is just very lucky. The story is fine, but it just does too much sometimes. If you couldn't tell already, plot armor and convenience is the biggest problem this movie has. It runs rampant. Now, last but not least, we have the final part of the film, part 4. All 3 of the previous protagonists were captured by this Yautja clan after they successfully killed their respective hunters, putting cryo sleep for God knows how long, and now they're all forced to fight each other to the death in a coliseum. The winner of this fight is then supposed to fight the clan's leader, the warlord predator. So this final part gets a 2 out of 10 from me. This is an interesting concept on paper, but there are some really stupid moments, and it's all just executed really poorly. But my biggest gripe about this ending is that it simply should not exist. If all we had were the 3 short stories and that was it, I would be perfectly content and honestly even happy with how this movie turned out. Sure, the first part was ass, but the samurai and World War II bits were pretty cool. So we would have gotten more good than bad, but nope, of course I can't be happy. This shouldn't have been a movie. This should have been a TV show. A TV show that can get a couple seasons with like 8 episodes each, all following different predators in different eras of human history. Sometimes the human wins, sometimes the predator wins. But most importantly, we never see these characters again after that episode. But no, instead of that, we get 3 origin stories shoved into one movie, and now we gotta have a big Avengers Infinity War crossover or something that's likely gonna feature multiple legacy characters. As hinted at by Dan himself, even if it would come at the expense of already established lore, but of course, we already know he wouldn't care about that. Including Naru, who, as you all know, is my favorite character ever. Totally, yes, can't wait to see Naru again. Yay! But yeah, those are basically my thoughts on Killer of Killers. I think something I'm really afraid of is them bringing Dutch back, because Dutch has a really cool story going on currently in Hunting Grounds from the audio tapes. But, you know, if they bring Dutch back and say that he's been in cryo or something since, like, 1987, that would really suck. And that would ruin a lot of what Hunting Grounds has done to really fix the overall Predator story for me. So I'd be pretty pissed off if that was the case. But, of course, we do know that Dan Trachtenberg is more than willing to retcon cool stuff, as we've seen from the pistol from Predator 2 and how we treated that thing in Prey, and of course now it also appears in Killer of Killers. But yeah, so I'm a bit worried about that. But what do you guys think? Did you guys like Killer of Killers? Am I wrong? Am I stupid? Am I right? Am I smart? I know I'm right, but you know, you guys can go ahead and give your 2 cents if you want. You can also go ahead and like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. So yeah, I'd appreciate that if you did. But yep, no, I will see you in the next one.